All right. Hey. It is Uncle Matt and my buddy Kyle. We are live tonight for our Titans slash NFL preview as we
Annual.
also watch the annual preview as we also watch the end of the Lions Chiefs game here. This is getting tight. I thought this game was going to be, I did not see this game going this way, but we're here. We're going to go talk about the Titans and then we'll go through the whole NFL, break it down because he's the guy. He's the one. He knows. He's the number one NFL
Everything
expert.
I know I learned on Twitter.
Yes, and Greg Cosell. So if you listen to Greg Cosell, you're already gonna yep. So if you already listened to Greg Cosell's previews and stuff like that, skip this because that's all he's gonna say. So I think we'll start with just like a general preview of the Titans, and then we'll go through it the whole NFL. We're gonna try to keep this short. I think last year we did this. I didn't do it live, but
it was 2 years ago. We did the draft preview, and it was like 2 hours long, and we got tanked by the end of it.
Yeah, and I had to like edit the whole thing down. It was like, how can I edit this 3-hour recording into like a 2-hour video? So like, we'll try to keep it short. So, Kyle, what are your general thoughts about the Titans this season? What do you think is going to happen?
Some things I'm excited about. D-line. I think our D-line is top-notch. I think it's really good. The addition of Arden Key, keeping Danico Autry, the big contract for Big Jeff. I mean, we're looking really good on the defensive line. They kept Caleb Murphy, which I guess he was an undrafted free agent that ended up looking really, really good. And that's one thing I feel like the Titans have done really well. Like they've done a lot of things poorly, but bringing in D-line and coaching them up, look at Tierra Tart. And there's multiple examples. So was it Jackson last year? Who was the guy that got signed?
I like DeMarcus Jackson, Lawrence.
DeMarcus shows how great
there's always some DeMarcus that like gets signed somewhere, like with the dude who signed with the Bears. You're talking about the guy who signed with the Bears that we like wanted to bring back, but then he signed a big deal with the Bears. Like we do a good job of like finding these diamonds in the roughs and then getting them big deals somewhere else.
So I feel good about our D-line. I think our starting secondary is good, not great. I think we're probably 16 or a little bit higher. Kevin Byard brings that average up. I think Fulton, when he's healthy, is good. Bunting should be pretty decent. Then you've got McCreary should be solid. They moved Molden to safety, which that was kind of a surprise move.
I mean, we need safeties. I mean, we've got nothing beyond Byard and Hooker. So somebody has to be able to play safety there. I think they might play him like as a nickel still. They might mix him in as a corner, but like I think they wanted to like set that up to have.
I wonder if he'll be safety. We've always had kind of a tight end matchup guy, and I think we didn't have that necessarily last year, which hurt us. But Crookshank was our guy the years before that, and it worked out really well for us. So that's the one thing that I would say if there was a worry on the defense, that tight end matchup guy. I don't know who we're going to have doing that this year. So I think as long as we don't just get mauled by injuries, our defense should be top 10.
Yeah, I think there's 3 things that went wrong last season. The roster was mediocre.
Yeah.
The offense coordinator was an idiot.
Yep.
And we got killed by injuries. So have we corrected those 3 things? I think the roster's definitely better. I don't know if it's like a top tier NFL roster, but I mean, I don't know.
Dillard's got to be better than Daly. I mean, you can't be worse than Daly.
How can you not possibly be worse than Daly? So I think the roster's better. I don't know if Tim Kelly's like the next like offensive wizard or anything like that.
He has to be better.
He's got to be a bit better than Downing.
Matter of fact, his track record is better than Downing.
Yes. But the other question is like, we don't really know like what they've done to address like the fact that we've had like 97 players on injured reserve for the last 2 seasons.
And
some of the injured players, some of the players like that, Vrabel highlighted, like David Long, where he was like, this dude's always hurt.
We have cut everybody that was ever injured. Like McMath got cut, Long got cut. They cut guys with habitual soft tissue injuries. That's obviously some of it's a player. And I want to say I remember reading a report somewhere around the time when we hired Tim Kelly or sometime after that they were addressing some training issues.
I hope so.
I can't remember if they were changing staff or like the way they were going to go about it. But from what I understand, we have pretty physical practices, for better or for worse. That may help with our physicality on the field, but obviously that's going to not help with injuries. But yeah, hopefully with the roster cuts and changes in some philosophy with training that will be better. Like, I don't know how you could break a record a third year in a row. Like, the odds are against it, I would think.
That would be impressive. That would be impressive to have another year where you just have like 90 players. Yeah.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that, I think people are like, I don't know, we just never seem to get like the love from the national media. I think this is always
we never have.
We never have, but I mean,
we could sign Patrick Mahomes and they would forget his name.
It's weird that like people forget that Larry, you want me on the stream?
That's Larry.
He's
ladies and gentlemen.
The stairs. But it's like there's like everybody just like assumes we're gonna be terrible because we finished last season so bad, but people forget like we were like a Josh Dobbs incorrectly called fumble away from being.
They got called right for Josh Allen.
Yeah, we started the season 7-1. Josh Dobbs almost took us the division title. Had the referees known what they were doing at that point in time, so like it's kind of crazy. Like the hype around the Jaguars, and we'll get to that in a second. But like I think this is a better roster than last year. I think we have a better coaching staff than last year.
Our wide receivers are. All right, let's go to the offensive side of the ball. I think our offensive line scares the hell out of me. I don't think it could be worse than last year.
No, I think
Ben Jones was the only thing holding together that line last year.
I think that the one thing I'll give everybody credit for who's like predicting whatever's going to happen with the Titans is I could see. I think when the season, when the schedule got released, I did a live stream where I predicted game by game, and I think somehow I had the Titans going 15-2. I don't know how I got to that. When I went through it, it's one of those. I was like game by game. I was like, oh, we're going to win that one. I was like, oh shit, we're 15-2. That was a bad prediction. But like that's the thing about this team is we could go 15-2,
yeah, 100%,
but we could also go 0-17. This is the enigma of the Tennessee Titans season. Is like. It could go either way. We could literally be one of the best teams in the league. It's like, and that's what you have when you have a Ryan Tannehill, when you have a Kirk Cousins, a Derek Carr, Jared Goff, who we're seeing playing tonight. We have got that type of quarterback who can achieve a lot, but a lot of things have to go right around them.
I think I'm going to give Mike Vrabel the benefit of the doubt because I think he's kind of the X factor there. Yeah, he's dealing with that kind of mid-tier quarterback that can be great at times. I would say higher than mid-tier. There's a certain tier of quarterback that they have games where they, like Kirk Cousins, look fantastic in that comeback against the Colts. Like these guys, like Carr, Derek Carr, Tannehill, all of them, they have spots where they look fantastic, but then sometimes they don't. I think a coach like Mike Vrabel, I just don't see him losing more than 6 games in a season. Like that's at the worst.
That's the thing. I said we could either be 15-2 or we could be 0-17. We're probably going to be like 9-7 or whatever the middle of the range that we always are in is in that range. But like
can't be 8-8 anymore.
But I mean, our schedule's not terrible. Like we got an easy enough schedule. I mean,
it's a lot better than it was last year.
Especially if you don't think the Jaguars are going to be like the juggernauts that some people think you are. If you like to look at some people think the
Jaguars. Okay, so if you want to move on to the Jaguars, sure. Initially when the preseason started, I was in the boat like. They're terrible. Like, why are people buffing these guys? They barely won the division. But then there was a post recently on Reddit about them and how we were ranked so low. And a couple of guys on there were like, okay, pump your jets. I'm a Titans fan, but let's look at the facts. They have a quarterback that has the potential to be really good. They've got like 10 years of high first round draft picks. They have a solidly built team and a proven coach. They do scare me the most out. He's got a Super Bowl. We don't.
True. But the team he won the Super Bowl for, they felt they needed to fire him at a certain point. Like he won a Super Bowl, and 2 years later, they're like, this guy's an idiot. Let's get rid of him. So, like, I mean.
That's fair.
That's the thing I always kind of hang my hat on with, like, Doug Peterson. People are like, they got Doug Peterson. They got I'm like, well, the Eagles built a statue for him and then fired him because they apparently thought he was like not that good of a
they
coach.
Scare you more than the Colts and the Texans?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. They're definitely going to be the only other team that could possibly contend for this division, unless like Anthony Richardson just is like the god and just like
that all the media says he is.
Yeah, unless he just like clicks in a way that like hasn't been shown so far. I mean, like that.
It's really rare for a first-year quarterback, even a great, because Patrick Mahomes didn't play his first year. He sat behind Alex Smith.
I'm weirdly more scared of him than I am. This might come back to bite me, but I'm weirdly more scared of him than I am of Trevor Lawrence. So I think, like, how many times so Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be the next Peyton Manning, the next Andrew Luck, the next generational quarterback.
Tebow had a bad first 2 years, or he had definitely a bad first year, but why was that? I mean, you can chalk that up to Urban Meyer, maybe.
But I mean,
Peyton Manning had a terrible first year.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many quarterbacks have started out had 2 bad seasons. If you're supposed to be like the game changer quarterback, you're supposed to be able to overcome those things. You're supposed to be able to be like Manning. I can't
think of anybody that came out their rookie year and just lit it on fire and then sustained that. Even the best guys, like Brady sat behind, was it Testaverde?
Well, no, Brady was behind Bledsoe. He was never supposed to be the starter. Just all Brady skews everything because it was never supposed to be Brady. It was always supposed to be it was never supposed to be him. And
I don't know where I got Testaverde from.
If you're watching live, we're about to get a kneel down here. The Lions are going to beat the Chiefs. This is
first game of the season, big time upset,
21-20. I had the under, so that works. That works in this one
because the Detroit had a pretty potent offense last year, right? Like they put up.
Yeah, that's what everything. We'll get to that third division, but let's wrap up the AFC South. So we both think the Jaguars are maybe a little bit overrated. But you're a little bit more scared of them than I am, I think.
I think a little bit. There's just a little bit that scares me. But only because of here lately, some of the teams that have been hyped. Like, I thought the Eagles were overhyped, and then they went to the fucking Super Bowl. Excuse my language. They went to the Super Bowl. Every now and then the media gets things right, and I just worry that it's going to be the Jags this time. Because I love Jalen Hurts. I've liked him since Alabama, and I thought he was a good quarterback. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is or has shown so far.
Here's the thing I think about the Jaguars, why I'm not as scared of the Jaguars or as high on the Jaguars is I think a lot of people seem to think Calvin Ridley is going to be a difference maker. And he was really good 3 years ago. But I mean, we look at the track record of players that have missed a full season and go back to the last time he played. He was also not great, banged up, hurt all the time.
That's fair.
So people are he's going to come in and be Randy Moss all of a sudden for the Jaguars to be an elite receiver. He might. I don't want to. I hope be better than I hope Westbrook I don't. Hope, yeah, definitely. I would take him over Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. But I mean, at the same time, it's how often do players miss an entire season, and then you go back to the season that before what season he missed, and he was hurt and not playing that well. It's he's 3 years removed from the last time he was an elite player in the NFL. So it's
that generally does not work out.
Yeah, so I'm not that scared of him coming in. A lot of people have pointed out that Trevor Lawrence's turnover rate is insane for a quarterback. He's got one of the highest turnover rates for a quarterback. Defense, what do they got on defense? Are they
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. We just signed their best, the guy who sacked us 20 times. I don't know. I'm not as in. I think everybody just likes to pick the team that got hot at the end of the season before, and you're that team is going to continue to be good.
Well, they like to pick anybody but the Titans in the AFC South.
Yeah, but I think the thing is everybody saw the Jaguars beat the Chargers and go, this must be a sign they're going to be good next year. And it's but
they stumbled into it. We beat them twice.
And there's a lot of people that are high on Doug Peterson, and I'm he won a Super Bowl for the Eagles, and within a year they were this guy sucks. We should fire him. There's got to be something wrong there. I mean.
And they seem to have done well since then.
Yeah, and everybody thinks their GM, Howie Roseman, is the smartest guy in the NFL. So if he fired Doug Peterson, there's got to be something not quite right. I don't know. So what my 4 predictions for AFC South: Titans, Jags.
Okay. Now, how do you do the lower tier?
I think you got to decide which quarterback you think is going to be better first, Richardson or Stroud.
I think Richardson has more raw talent and athletic skill. CJ Stroud has more.
I would like Stroud. I wish the Titans could have gotten Stroud. I think there was a lot of possibility that would happen, but
I think Stroud is the better coming straight out of college, more prepared. I think he's more prepared.
I also think now that they've missed the boat on their generational quarterbacks, the Colts seem to be completely falling apart. Like, I think we're learning that Jim Irsay is Jerry Jones.
As much as I hate Jonathan Taylor, I would not have treated him the way that they have treated him.
Can you imagine if Amy Strunk had been like, Derrick Henry's a bitch?
That's basically what Sirianni is, or Irsay's done to
Taylor. I'll put Colts in last. I think the Texans, because I think they've got a better coach. I think DeMarco Ryan is better than
a poor man's Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He's the AFC South's Jerry Jones.
Yeah, Jerry Jones actually had put some teams together and done some stuff. So at least,
calm down, Irsay. You won one Super Bowl with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yep. All right, let's go East. What do you think of AFC East? Your favorite player, Aaron Rodgers. He's there now.
They put together a pretty good team.
I know.
I think that AFC East is one of the more wide open divisions. I think it wouldn't surprise me at all if anybody but the Patriots won that division. I think if the Patriots won the division, that would be a total surprise. But you take the Dolphins, the Bills, the Jets, any one of those three, I think could make a good run. They've all put together good teams. Obviously, here lately, the Bills are the perennial favorites. So I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know that I could feel super comfortable making a pick. I hated Aaron Rodgers. Now, over the past couple of years, he's had some interviews and done some stuff. I kind of respect him a little bit more because he hyped up Vrabel in that one Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you think?
I think the Bills. I tend to lean towards the team that has had the most success until they're proven wrong.
So Allen losing Daboll, he didn't have as great a year last year.
I mean, they were still the second seed. They still won the division with second seed. They didn't necessarily do anything. They didn't make any moves that make you think they're going to be better this year. But I mean,
they still have Saffold.
He's a free agent. He's yeah, he's a free agent. He failed his physical. The Raiders were going to sign him, but he failed his free agent.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Quesenberry,
he's out there. But he's a free agent.
They're definitely. I thought. Oh yeah, they cut him.
But I mean, they still got him. They got Diggs. They got, I don't know. It feels like have they lost enough to say they're going to go off a cliff?
But then you have Miami, who has one of the best wide receiving cores in the league.
But two is one brain injury away from being in hospice.
That was scary.
That's crazy. It's
that's a great wide receiving.
They're the team that looks like they're the team that looks the best set up to take over the East. But the two of it all, if he's healthy, if he doesn't lose his brain,
then they
should be good. Yeah, and you can never, like you said, you can't discount the Patriots because
I wouldn't put money on any team in.
No, it's gonna be wide open because Rodgers makes the Jets more interesting, but he kind of sucked last year. But did he suck because the Packers were in a bad spot, or did he suck because he's
he didn't
50
have any
years
weapons
old?
around him?
You don't know. East is hard to say. If I was gonna bet on it, I'd stick with the Bills just because just stick with
because of the track record.
But the harder division in the league to pick, maybe I thought that was gonna be an easy one, but that's really hard. The North is even more insane.
The North,
because I think everybody in the North is good, except the Browns. I don't know if the Browns are good. People think the Browns are going to be good because they're
Raperson.
Yeah, they think he's going to be good again. And I'm like, well, he's 5 years removed from when he was good. It's we still think he's going to be good. I don't know.
They have a decent roster built around him. That's what makes them.
Do they?
Nick Chubb's legit.
I mean, we got Derrick Henry. People don't seem to give us the same credit.
Yeah, that's true.
Who are their receivers? Donovan Peoples-Jones?
Yeah.
Where's Odell Beckham? He's at Ravens. He's at the Ravens.
He's still the same division, different team.
Yeah. No.
I'd have to look it up. I can't name a single Browns receiver right now.
Jarvis Landry? Where's he? He's a free agent. No, he's a free agent. He's on the streets. He's on the streets.
He's getting older. I can't name a single receiver they have.
I think people just think he's going to be good again magically, like even though he hasn't been good in like 4 years. Like, and it's the same thing I said with like Calvin Ridley. Like, how often do players like miss a full season?
Obviously, the Bengals.
I'm not convinced that the Steelers are going to be incredible again. Tomlin's like that Vrabel level where like you just like he's
Amari Cooper, Marquise Godwin, David Bell, Donovan Peoples-Jones.
That's a good enough group, but I mean like,
yeah, you can never count out Tomlin. He's just one of those coaches. Even in his worst, he's like a little like Vrabel. Like Mike Tomlin's never going to give you the number 1 draft pick. He's never going to lose enough games. He's going to pull wins out of his ass. And
like the Steelers also on like some like crazy streak where they haven't had like a losing season in his entire tenure.
But they had one last year, didn't they?
No, I think they were like 9-7 or like something like that. Like
they pull it out.
I think that
if you believe the preseason hype,
I think they've had like
Pickett's had a good offseason.
I think they've had like an 8-8 season or something like crazy like that.
Old tiny hands.
Yeah. I mean,
then you've always got the Ravens and Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. And I'm not big on Lamar Jackson, and 90% of that's because I hate the Ravens. He's actually a good quarterback. I just hate him because he plays for the Ravens.
Well, I mean, he had like he's
a talented.
People put him in the same category as like Mahomes and like Josh Allen
and Burrow,
but he's come nowhere close to like.
He had the MVP season.
His best season, the Titans knocked him out.
Right. And the game, if you start the games that Tannehill started, and we didn't have a whole season that year with Tannehill, but if you go from when Tannehill started and look at Jackson's games and Tannehill's game, like if you look at their records and their stats, they were really close.
Would I trade Tannehill for Lamar Jackson? Yes, I would.
But their stats were close.
That is an important thing to note. I would take Lamar Jackson over Tannehill, but like on the field, like he hasn't done it. He
just hadn't been there.
He hadn't done it. So what do you think? Who do you think wins the AFC North?
So I'm going to go Cincinnati. Then I'm going to go with a surprise, and I agree with you. I think I'm going to go Steelers number 2.
Yep.
Ravens, Browns.
Yep, that's exactly what I would say. That is exactly what I say. Because like, there's like, I listened to this podcast where they're talking about how like the Steelers and Pittsburgh University basically share a training facility. So like they're cross over.
Yeah.
And so there were the people I was listening to like on this podcast were saying like that tells you Tomlin watched Kenny Pickett the entire time he was in University of Pittsburgh. So it wasn't like
he was not an unknown.
He was not an unknown. It wasn't like, like us, like kind of with Levis, we're like, I guess we should probably take Levis because he's still on the board here. Whereas like Tomlin, Steelers organization, they exactly knew who Kenny Pickett was.
Like they could have groomed him, and we don't know.
For
all we knew, not that grooming.
You heard it here first. Mike Tomlin groomed Kenny Pickett.
That's why he has tiny hands.
Yeah. He saw those tiny hands. Like, that boy's got tiny hands. I really want some of that.
It's like the reverse of Charlie's lawyer uncle.
He's got the big hands. I need bigger hands. Yeah, no, but like that to me is like a clear sign. It's like the fact they knew this dude. It wasn't like a regular scouting situation. That gives me a little more faith in him than like some people might have with him. So like, I agree with you.
Plus, George Pickens looks every bit of a number 1 receiver. That dude looks nasty.
Oh, yeah. And I think Deshaun Watson's going to suck. I think the Browns are always going to suck.
I hope he sucks.
And
look, and it's not because like I have anything against the Browns, but I mean, from all reports, apparently Deshaun Watson's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
If you're a massage therapist. So who we got next? AFC West?
Yep. I think that's next. West. What do you think? We just saw the Chiefs lose to start the season.
Yeah, but they do. There was a couple years ago where they started out slow. Sometimes it takes them a minute to get. I mean, they were without Kelsey, until Andy Reid and Mahomes are gone. You have to go with them. Like if you're starting preseason as your favorite. Like they're just the way it is right now.
No doubt. I would not take anybody else from the West.
Like in Brady's prime and Belichick with the Patriots, like if you were doing the AFC East, you start with them at the beginning of the season as your favorite because they're that good, and that's where we're at. I think the Broncos are not going to be good. For some reason, I see a shitstorm coming there.
Well, I think like Sean Payton's coming in, and like he's could get them right, but like I think like the Russell Wilson of it all.
That's going to be a
like,
feast or famine thing.
Yeah, like I don't know how like you overcome his insanity. His just like he's like Brady if Brady sucked.
How would you even play football if your wife was Sierra? Anyways, I would
retire. Seriously, I would retire and just stay home all day every day. But like he's trying to create a brand. He's got the R12. He's like the Subway sandwich diet, and he's trying to do like the Brady thing, but he's like terrible. he's not Brady, and he's also like just
he's had good seasons though. He won a Super Bowl. Went to another one.
Wasn't the big criticism of the year they lost the Super Bowl was that they let him throw the ball?
Yeah.
And Malcolm Butler picked him off the goal line. And it was like almost like he got carried by defense and running backs, and like it's like
yeah.
I don't know. I think Denver is going to get it right eventually if they can find a quarterback.
Maybe Pete Carroll's making Geno Smith look really good because people are high up on the Seahawks right now.
Yeah, they definitely overcame losing their franchise quarterback, who was their legendary quarterback of all time, and immediately made the playoffs 1 year later while he shit the bed the next season. So I don't know. I think Sean Payton's a good coach, but I mean, like, there's also been like some like stuff people have been like, we're acting like Sean Payton's like this genius who's going to come in and fix the Broncos, but did we not remember that he won one Super Bowl the whole time he had Drew Brees? Like, it's like,
but Drew Brees was crap and got traded to the Saints.
Yeah, but still, Sean Payton only won one Super Bowl with Drew Brees. Like all those
was
years,
Drew Brees that good, or did Payton make Drew Brees?
That's the question. Did Sean Payton waste Drew Brees' talent, or was Drew Brees not that good? That's the question you have to ask yourself when you're analyzing: is Sean Payton coming in the Broncos?
I think Brady proved himself with the win with Tampa Bay, the Super Bowl, that he was better. He wasn't just a Belichick disciple that won because of Belichick's coaching.
That really probably skews everything over the last like 20 years. Is like you're like, well, Sean Payton only won one Super Bowl where like he was facing Brady and Belichick for like the entire time. It's not a fair comparison.
Like the when you look at the AFC, when Brady went to almost every Super Bowl minus like 4 or 5, because you had a Roethlisberger 1 or 2 in there, you had a Peyton Manning in there.
Yeah, it was a bunch of random ones between. It was all except for like maybe like Flacco.
Flacco's the
It was like all elite quarterbacks. And Flacco pulled off one random one somewhere in the middle. But it's like you got to like be like, hey, maybe we don't judge everybody the same way we used to judge people, because Brady and Belichick were just like burning the crops down everything. Yeah. All right. So that's so West. What are your predictions?
So we'll say Kansas City, then Seattle.
They're in the NFC.
Oh, God, yeah. So we'll say Kansas City, then I don't know. That's tough.
I'll tell you about. I'm going to go Kansas City. I'm going to say Chargers, even though I think they suck. I think their coach is the worst coach.
I feel better about the Chargers than I do the Broncos and the Raiders.
I think their coach is the worst coach in the NFL. I think Brandon Staley is the dumbest person in the NFL. But Justin Herbert can probably get them through some games. The Raiders are a disaster. Like, I don't know how they didn't.
Although apparently Aiden O'Connell is good. But
they were like, apparently the only reason they didn't fire Josh McDaniels is because they can't afford to pay his buyout. So they just have to keep riding with him. So like so I'll go them last and Broncos third, just because like
that's fair.
Sean Payton can get something done.
That's fair.
All right, NFC East. Let's go east to west. What do you think? Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Commanders. The historic team, the Commanders.
Sam Howell. Yeah, Sam Howell.
That is.
Daniel Jones.
We are
Dak Prescott.
We are definitely trying to fold a team, or we're definitely trying to. What is it? Tank. We're tanking.
Riverboat.
Tanking for Cam Caleb Williams.
I don't know. Maybe Sam Howell's good.
They've had him for 2 years. They just now decided, like, yeah, now he's better than
They
Taylor
tried the
Heineke.
wins.
Now he's better than Taylor Heineke.
I don't know. I think your best 2 teams are probably Giants, Cowboys. And it just
better
depends.
Than the Eagles?
Yeah, that was wrong. That was a bad choice. I think your next 2 best teams are Cowboys, Eagles.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It depends on which Dak Prescott shows up.
Oh, yeah. That's totally. And I think the only thing that could, like, change the division is, like, traditionally, for whatever reason, the team that loses the Super Bowl tends to suck the next year. The Eagles just lost the Super Bowl, but they have probably the best roster in the entire league. So it's like...
So there's also the if you go to the Super Bowl your first year, you never go back.
Yeah.
Curse.
Yeah, that's also a factor. It's like, yeah. So it's like the Eagles, good roster, but like there's a lot of weird mojo that comes with like losing a Super Bowl.
I think the NFC East has gotten a lot better as a whole. I think Daboll, I just hate him. I don't know why I hate him, but I do hate him. But I think he's a good coach.
He's got the same Vrabel energy to me. Like he's like
just a dick.
Yeah, he's
just
like, I don't give a shit. Fuck y'all. I'm just gonna coach.
I think they could be good. I think Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, Commanders.
I can't decide if I like. So all these running backs that like had their conference, like we have to rally together. Feels like these running backs should be motivated to have their best seasons possible.
Yeah.
So like Derrick Henry actually had a quote where he said, "I'm running for all the running backs this season. Like I'm gonna
5,000 yards.
I'm gonna put him on my back." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, go for it, Derrick Henry." And so like Saquon should be in that same boat. Saquon should be like, we put our nuts on the line. We got to put our nuts on the line. We got to show you guys. Everybody doubted us. We're gonna fucking go for it. So like, I almost am tempted to like lean into the teams that have those running backs. Saquon, Josh Jacobs. I just said the Raiders are gonna suck, but like
Jacobs is legit. It's just not.
But Daniel Jones kind of sucks. That's the problem. Like,
does he?
He's like,
or has he had 15 different coaches and offensive coordinators his first couple?
Well, I thought it worked out really well last year because he got Brian Daboll, who came from Buffalo, and Daniel Jones is like basically Josh Allen light. So it was the perfect setup for him. He's like, I'm Josh Allen light. This is a guy who knows how to use me and is going to do stuff. But I mean, I think the Giants. I think the Giants are going to be better than the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are like, I don't know. Some more time, Mike McCarthy is an idiot. Jerry Jones is an idiot. Some of that all that's coming together at some more time. Like, but Tony Pollard's really good. It's like
Pollard's good.
They like these dumb coaches. Like this is why the Titans sucked for so long. It's like we were dumb, but we didn't stumble anybody good the whole time we were dumb. We just kept stumbling the bad players.
How? Like the whole time we were bad, could we have not gotten somebody good?
Like the Cowboys suck, and they stumbled into Dak Prescott, who's passable. They got him in the 4th round of a pick, and it's like we were like Zach Mattenberg. We found the 7th round. This is our quarterback of the future. It's like
I was pretty hype about Mettenberger.
I was too. I was like, here we go. Yeah, I was like, yeah, we were like, this is the guy. They were like,
he was not the guy.
He is 0-8 as a starter. He might not be good.
He's not good.
But he put the right players around him. If you change things.
NFC South.
This one, I don't know. This is crapshoot. Could be anybody. All the teams suck there. They all look like they suck.
They do all look like
it's like the AFC South, only in the NFC.
I'm going to say the Panthers because I think their GMs made some good drafting decisions about the players he picks. He's put together a good roster.
But it's a rookie quarterback. They got no receivers.
But he's followed my draft plan.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense because everybody you wanted to draft, they drafted. I'm going to go crazy here because I think a lot of people are just saying like Saints because they're like seeming like
they have the most experienced quarterback, right?
Yeah, they got Derek Carr, so they're like trying to compete.
So you've got Carr, Ritter, Bryce Young, and who's the 4?
Carr, Ritter, Bryce Young. Carr, Bryce Young. Who's the other? Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah.
This is the thing. This is where I sound crazy. I like the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And this is why, because there was a trivia question that I got asked the other day. Who has the longest streak of making the playoffs of any NFC football team? You know who it is?
I would have said Steelers.
NFC.
Oh, NFC. If I had to say NFC, Packers?
They just missed the playoffs.
They just missed them, yeah. It's not the Bucs.
It's the Bucs. It's Bucs. I guess 49ers.
Niners would have been a good guess.
But it is Buccaneers. So you think this team that has made, and I will fully admit, I have a weird conniption that I think Baker Mayfield is going to be good because he came here that one time against okay. He won a playoff game for the Browns in Pittsburgh, which is impossible. But the other thing that always makes me think Baker Mayfield still has something in him is he came to Tennessee when he played for the Browns and just lit the shit out of us, beat us unbearably. It was one of the seasons where we were really good. We're on fire. And then the Browns came in and beat us 42-10 or something like that. He was through 700 yards. He did the photo thing with one of his in the end zone. It's I think he still has something. So this is a roster that has made the playoffs more than anybody in the NFC. And I still think he might be able to do something. So I weirdly think that's my wildest pick in all of football is the Bucs to make the playoffs.
Panthers, Falcons, Bucs, Saints. That's my wild card.
I'm going to go Bucs. Bucs to win it all.
Bucs.
Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Baker Mayfield.
That's got to be a big payday. I mean, at least.
Kyle Trask is going to start by week 3.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right. What do we got left? North, NFC North. Your favorite division with your guy gone now.
I hate the NFC North. I think that the Bears are overhyped. I think a lot will depend on what Jordan Love is. That he's an unknown quantity. Is he going to follow in the Favre, Rodgers footsteps of them bringing in quarterbacks and them being good for – God, they've just had a fucking stretch.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, is he the real deal? They have Justin Jefferson. Can he carry the team? I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I would say the Vikings would be my favorite.
Yeah, Vikings probably were my favorite before tonight, but now that we watched the Lions beat the Chiefs.
Lions have made the playoffs once in 20 years. Get fucked.
I do think
they may be. I don't know, but everybody likes to jerk off Justin Fields because he ran for 2,000 yards almost.
That's the weird thing. It's the weirdest thing is everybody thinks the Bears are going to be terrible, but
no, everybody thinks they're going to be good.
Oh, I thought there were people that
no, everybody thinks Justin Fields is the second. That's what I've been seeing lately.
Well, I knew he was hyped up in fantasy league.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
I think I'm
just seeing fantasy stuff.
People think he's going to be a big fantasy quarterback, but I think people think the Bears are going to suck. But I thought the Lions were a little overhyped, but now they just beat the Chiefs.
Based on tonight, I would say Vikings, Lions. Ooh, I don't know about the last two. Probably Green Bay, Bears, because fuck the Bears.
Yeah, we'll get to the Bears and Packers play each other this Sunday, so we'll figure that one out quick. But I would mostly agree with you. I think you've got it spot on. So we got NFC West left.
Yeah,
that division sucks.
The Niners never suck. They're always.
Oh, the Niners gonna be good, and the Seahawks.
You know who's a really. I want to see Brock. If Brock Purdy can do it again, I think it would be fantastic because I have receipts and I can go back and check the text messages that I sent you where I wanted to draft Brock Purdy. And if he ends up being just stupid good, I'm gonna rub it all over everybody. I'm gonna rub it like a dog's nose in shit.
I think he's already done enough. You can do that. The fact that he went from the fact that he went from
Mr.
Irrelevant to like starting a playoff game, I think you've already won that one.
But is it because of the team? I mean, they from top to bottom roster, the 49ers may have one of the best teams in football.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, like the fact that like Trey Lance should be the worst, one of the worst disasters in NFL history.
If he had panned out, God bless.
But the fact that nobody even like
what if they got Jalen Hurts? They probably would have beat fucking the Chiefs.
That's the thing is like nobody gives them any crap for like the Trey Lance thing. It's like they've been so awesome. Everybody's like, no, but you should like get killed. You traded all these draft picks to get Trey Lance, and then like 2 years later, you're like, we'll give him to the Cowboys for like a 6th-round pick. Like it should be like the worst pick in all NFL history. But the
worse
49ers
than Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
Worse than Jamarcus Russell.
I mean,
because they didn't give up the draft picks for Russell. Yeah.
But they survived it. The fact that when you survive that bad of a thing, you get away with it. But it's like
that's how good their team is. Is like you could literally just about start anybody at quarterback, and if they're passing, you're going to win 9 games with that roster. That roster is that fucking good. They got one of the best tight ends in football. They've got great. I mean, Ayuk and Samuel, and I mean they're just loaded.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a thing.
So it's their division to lose. I think the Seahawks will be 2. How would you put the last 2?
I mean, the Cardinals should be the worst team in the entire league. So it's bottom of the barrel. And then who's the other one there out there? Rams. It's such a crapshoot because they should be good. Like they built the roster.
I think Stafford's old. That's going to hurt them. Stafford's finally feeling his age.
Like last year seemed like they were too beat up, but they still have the same players. Like, but Cooper Kupp is already out for the season or out for the
IR?
No, he's not on IR, but he's missing the first game. So I don't know. It's a weird situation with the Rams. You can't put much faith in the Rams with them.
I don't right now. I think they mortgage their future to win a Super Bowl, and I don't blame them because I would do it too. Like if I could guarantee the Titans to win a Super Bowl and we would be terrible for 5 years,
absolutely.
I would make
everybody
that deal.
Criticize them for trading all their picks for like doing whatever they did. It's like you got the ring.
Yeah,
if
you wouldn't make that deal, you're not a football fan.
Yeah, get the ring. Like not everybody can be the Patriots and like build like. That takes a special.
Like, would you rather have? All right, if I gave you the option of 8 years of making the playoffs or 1 Super Bowl, what would you take?
1 Super Bowl. Like we've like the Titans are the perfect example of that. We've like had a lot of playoff runs. We won Super Bowl. We've been to the AFC Championship. It's like, trade everything for a Super Bowl. Like that's all you want is a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would take 8 years of mediocrity for a Super Bowl.
No doubt at all.
So anybody that blames them for mortgaging their future for that 1 win is an idiot.
All right. Any final thoughts about the season? Anything you want to throw up? Ollie. All right, let's go. Let's go all the way. AFC champion, who you got?
Titans. This is a Homer show, baby.
All right, yeah. NFC champion, who you got?
Niners.
Okay. Super Bowl champion, who you got?
Titans, baby.
Okay.
Yee.
All right, so I will go. That's wild. AFC champion, I'm gonna go Bills. I feel like they're just like so put upon it. Like
Bills couldn't win a Super Bowl if like you fixed it for them. They lost like 4 in a row.
I know, but I feel like it's destiny. Destiny has to come right. So I'm going to go Bills AFC champion. I'm going to go NFC champion, 49ers, Bills over 49ers.
Ooh, bold today, don't we, Cotton?
Yeah, no. That's so terrible.
It must be the booze talking.
That's you. I'm not trying it. All right. We're done here.
What? Oh, yeah. If you go to good pack.